going to be a really quick video to show you how to put drop shadow onto a picture. So I do it in Photoshop. Hopefully on my screen you can see a picture which is shot at Waipu Caves, and I'm in Lightroom. I'll show you kind of pretty much exactly how I go through this. I'm going to right click on the image and go edit in Photoshop. That's going to boot up Photoshop and open that image as a new layer in a new document. So it's opened the image. The last tool I was using was a crop tool, which has come back up here. Obviously, I don't really want to crop that just like that. I'm going to unlock the layer, and I am actually now going to crop. So press C to crop. I'll clear that ratio. Because what I actually want to do is increase the size of the image. So I'm going to grab a corner, press the Alt key or Option. It's going to expand it out slightly around the center. Pull down a little bit more, which will give me a bit of space for title. Click OK. Now, if you double click on the layer panel here, you'll get what's called the layer styles, and there's all sorts of different things here. You can create bevel and emboss, which will, in theory, create a weird looking bevel shape. You can go up or down. It works better for some things than for other things. I'm not sure it's going to work here. You can add a stroke on the outside. So if we click on the stroke tool, let's make that stroke a little bit bigger. Make it opaque. Blend mode normal. There we go. And there's our stroke. And because it's got a gradient fill, I'm going from this kind of orangey yellow color to a pink peachy color. So you can play with that, do whatever you like. But to do the drop shadow, it's fairly simple. We go down and we look at the drop shadow option. So I use two. They're both the same, and they're kind of, because it remembers what I did last time, it adds both. So I've got one, which is, so my angle is 125 degrees. So this is the angle that the light is coming from to create the shadow. Distance away from the object, and these are all in pixels. So if you have a larger image, you get a smaller and more dense drop shadow. So these are worth having a play with. And I've got a second one here, which is a bit further away, which creates a more angled shadow. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I click OK. And those, if you want to see how they look a little better, if I press Control and add a new layer, and then fill that layer with white, you can see the drop shadows a little bit clearer. So I now go back in and look at these. If I turn that, so this is my general all-round one, and this is my more angled one. So if I turn that one on and off, you can see more the effect that has. So I've got two drop shadows. I'm just going to put a guide down the center of my image, and then I'm going to add some text. Black, copper plate, Gothic light. That's the same one that I've used on everything else. So in here, I'm now going to write Waipu glowworms. There we go, done. We'll get rid of that guide, close that. Go. So we go back into Lightroom. I've now got my original image and my bordered image. If I right click and go export, and I'll use one of my presets, which is 1620 square JPEG. Export that file. Go into here. I'm going to go to Instagram. I do all my Instagram uploads through the computer as well. So if you press Shift, Control, and I, it gives you a sort of mock mobile phone version, which now lets me upload images from my computer rather than relying on phone images. So there we go. Upload that, click next, type in your text. That's it. Job done.